Hey everyone, and welcome to Harry Potter and Attachment Theory, Book 7, chapters 28 through 36. And we're also going to do the epilogue. So this is the end. We're finally here. You've made it. Welcome. It's happening.
We can talk about all the books and all the things now.
Yeah, everything is in play. Say it all. It's all here for you. But today we're going to be talking about earned security. And we're going to start with a little bit of a definition. So this is the definition that we came up with for you guys. So it's those who acknowledge that they experience dysfunctional parenting experiences in childhood, but as adults are able to describe these memories in an accurate, coherent, and contained manner. So just to kind of go through that a little bit deeper, accurate, being able to describe it kind of as it actually happened or as it was in your memory. Coherent, kind of putting it together as a whole, which we're going to get a little bit more into that definition whenever we talk about the AAI here in a minute. And contained, meaning that you're able to hold it kind of safe in a way. If needed to. So that's what I would say by contained. But I kind of want to hear about how you guys describe accurate, coherent, and contained.
What comes to mind, Jami, Lynn?
So I was actually thinking about the 9 levels of integration, Dan Siegel's work, and coherence therapy fits so well into that, but all of this fits well into it. So if I think about the first 3 levels, they're all integration of mind. Am I able to watch myself? So he calls it integration of consciousness, lateral integration, and bilateral integration. Can I watch myself? Can I feel everything that's going inside? Is my brain fully online? And then the next piece, do I have a coherent story about my life? Do I have narrative integration? Do I have state integration? Am I able to watch all the different states of mood that I move in and out of? Do I have memory integration? Do I know all of my memories? And then the last 3 would be, can I hold hard things like my parents were good people and loved me, but they did horrible things to me? Or I'm a good person and my parents were the ones who were really messed up. Can I hold these challenging, conflicting ideas together? And am I able to be in relationship in a whole way? That'd be like the interpersonal integration. And then the last one, can I breathe across all of that? That's what I was thinking about. Earn security is I am breathing across all 9 levels of Dan Siegel's integration, and it creates a coherent picture where I have an accurate explanation for my life, and it's not flooding me with information because I can hold challenging, complex ideas while in relationship with myself and others. That was a lot of
very well said.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I was thinking about some things that probably even relate to the next bullet point of the AAI, but just how those 3 words really evolved from Bowlby's original thoughts on attachment theory, because when Mary Main started working on the development of the adult attachment interview with George and Kaplan, they started realizing that there were really different qualities to someone who started off life secure, which they then called continuous secure, versus those who maybe started off with pockets of insecurity, but did the work to become secure, and that they all belong under the same umbrella, but the way that these different qualities get embodied will show up a little bit differently. And as an example, an earned secure person might actually be a little bit more comfortable reflecting on the negative parts of childhood than a continuous secure person. And it doesn't mean that they're more or less secure. It means their lived experience has allowed security to inhabit their body in a slightly different way.
That's why good therapists often come from crazy backgrounds.
Yeah, got that earned security. Yeah. I feel like with the AAI, I want to try to say this, but I'm probably going to need y'all's help. For the adult attachment inventory, one of the things that comes up whenever you're actually scoring an adult attachment inventory, if you ever like read about it, one of the ways that it's scored is not necessarily what is said, but it's how it's said. And so being able to tell a coherent story, being able to like not drift into another story or focus on something that's maybe not as important is part of the way that you tell what attachment style someone has if you're doing that sort of assessment. And I think that really speaks to what's being said in earned security about coherence. Like someone who has earned security, they're still able to maybe talk about it, like what Marshall was just saying, like talk about these hard things, but the story's told in like a contained way and a coherent way. That I think is really important to this idea of earned security. So that's what I wanted to get to about the AAI. And then those three people, as Marshall was saying, are the people, Main, George, and Kaplan, who came up with these definitions. So,
the thing about that with an AAI transcript and interview is that you're only looking at that moment in time. And so they don't actually say that they're knowing someone's entire classification, that that's not a thing. It's what version of them was present in this interview, which I think is so lovely and much more gentle. And the other thing is that when you're scoring the AAI, you're keeping in mind that it's their narrative in response to being surprised by questions. Like that's kind of the essence of it, is that they don't know what's coming next and they're reaching for a narrative in response to their unconscious being surprised.
Yeah.
So that you watch then, if some people reach for telling a story that they've practiced and rehearsed 100 times, regardless of whether or not it's relevant to the question, because that is a protector that they've developed in response to being surprised in that way. And that it's those qualities that you're referencing, Caleb, that show up in how someone talks. It's how they talk in response to being surprised.
Yeah.
Marshall, way well, like incredibly well said, but Marshall also has been trained in the AAI, so I expected his answer to be better. So that was really good. Yeah, better than mine is what I meant by better. But yeah, so can you tell us a little bit more about instrumental care and emotional care, Marshall? As we look at this next beautiful picture that I want everyone to stare at.
Yeah, those two kinds of care often come up in talking about security, that can you get your emotional needs met and can you get your instrumental needs met? And instrumental is usually like more pragmatic care. Like if I'm just in the weeds, can I ask someone to come help me with food? And do I have someone who's available? And part of another one of the subtle differences between continuous versus earned secure is research shows that over time and across populations, if you have continuous security, meaning from childhood, you're a little bit more likely to have people available to you for your instrumental care as an adult and not just your emotional care. That one of the reasons that it's thought that earned secure clients stay in therapy longer, in addition to the therapist possibly being an attachment figure that's helping them with the earned part, is that that's part of where they're getting their instrumental care needs met. That they may not have the longstanding family that's most often reliably counted on for some of those more pragmatic needs.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll speak to this photo before we end. While this is like such a heart-wrenching scene, it's also beautiful because this is the moment whenever Harry like most fully embodies the integration of all these loving relationships that he's finally discovered over the years of being in the wizarding world. Like prior to this, the only attachment figures in his life were the Dursleys, and now he has his parents and his parents' two best friends to be with him in this moment whenever he thinks, I'm going to die. And it's just a beautiful instance of earned security. I have the security of this love around me so I can face something really challenging.
Yeah, those internalized resources are physically present in the wizarding world, which is so cool. Yeah.
Can I read a poem while we look at this
Mhm.
photo? Would that feel like an okay way to wrap up?
That'd
Yeah.
be beautiful.
It's this David White poem that I can't shake. It's called What to Remember When Waking. It feels really appropriate. In that first hardly noticed moment in which you wake, coming back to this life from the other, more secret, movable, and frighteningly honest world where everything began, there is a small opening into the new day, which closes the moment you begin your plans. What you can plan is too small for you to live. What you can live wholeheartedly will make plans enough for the vitality hidden in your sleep. To be human is to become visible while carrying what is hidden as a gift to others. To remember the other world in this world is to live in your true inheritance. You are not a troubled guest on this earth. You are not an accident amidst other accidents. You were invited from another and greater night than the one from which you just have emerged. Now, looking through the slanting light of the morning window toward the morning presence of everything that can be, what urgency calls you to your one love? What shape waits in the seed of you to grow and spread its branches against a future sky? Is it waiting in the fertile sea, in the trees beyond the house, in the life you can imagine for yourself, in the open and lovely white page on the writing desk?
Mhm.
Gift from David White.
Thank you so much for reading that.
Thanks, Marshall.
Okay, everyone. We look forward to seeing you for the discussion.
The final discussion. Thanks, you
Yay.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.